What is up, everyone? It is Andrew Rapier here of Beat It AT Production and Publishing, bringing you guys a new YouTube video. In this YouTube video, we're gonna try to make a 21 Savage Issa Album.
It's a knife
Type beat. Pretty much all 21 Savage's type beats are pretty basic and easy. I mean, nothing too hard to expect from here. The big thing is figuring out the right sounds, BPM, and then using the right drums. I don't see this taking us too much time since it's so easy. So we're using FL Studio 12. Any version of FL will probably work. We're going to be using Gross Beat. I don't know if you guys will have Gross Beat. I think it's an additional plugin you need to purchase with Image Line. But we're going to go ahead and pull up. When you start a new project, you'll get this sampler slot. I'm going to open it up real quick. We're going to go ahead and go to the stamp and pull up the Aeolian melodic scale. Pretty much what this is going to do is if we click in somewhere, it's going to give us the scale, the whole entire measure essentially. So what, or like at least, so if I click down on A sharp, it's going to pull up the A sharp Aeolian scale. So Aeolian is just like the modern day minor scale. So doing this, we could pretty much figure out what chords we want to make really easily, and it really doesn't take us long at all. So I'm just holding shift and dragging the scale up, so we filled up from about A sharp 8 all the way down to A sharp 3, so that's definitely plenty. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and pull up Omnisphere. We're going to use Omnisphere predominantly for our instrumentation, since Omnisphere is like what Metro uses, and 21 Savage, almost the past two projects, Savage Mode and Issa Album,
It's a knife,
are pretty much covered with Metro Boomin production. So it's kind of like common sense to use a Metro Boomin type of VST. So, alright, so we got Omnisphere just pulled up. I'm gonna go ahead and click genre, click a ballad. We might go into ambient as well. Actually, just do it ballad. Do search, type in piano. What I like to do is do a little shuffle, so it gives me a different view of the samples I might want. So I'm just gonna click in a random one. Let me hear the sound. Alright, so that might work. We're gonna probably have 3 to 4 different states of Omnisphere, which is a lot. So I don't know if all of your computers, if you guys' computers can handle it, but mine can. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, so looking for another sound. Alright, so these are 2 different textures. I'll figure out the piano one later. We're gonna do spacey piano. So I'm gonna start on A sharp, since that's our main note. We're gonna go to A sharp 5. Do a full step. So you can kind of see how I'm building these chords. I'm skipping every other one. You don't really, I like to just play by ear, but when you guys start doing more music production, you get to the point that it's all just math. Like you'll understand that if you skip every other one, you're gonna pretty much have a pretty strong sounding chord, or like the chord is more likely gonna work properly. But it always changes. So it's just best to play with what you think sounds good. So I'm just curious what this might sound like. I don't think we're gonna keep this melody though. Yeah, so I'm not liking that. Something about it's like rushed. It has like a very rushed mentality, or I don't know. It doesn't really make much sense what I'm saying, but it didn't sound very concise. So I think it might be like how we had these off beats are just a little weird. So I'm gonna knock it up one octave. We're gonna track it. And by tracking it, I'm clicking in right here and it's gonna put it in the mixer board. We're gonna pull it down real quick. Get a gross beat. Go to momentary by going into presets, momentary, and doing half speed. Alright, so there's some weird clicking. I'm thinking it's because of the sample. Man, I wish it was a little bit easier. Let's do Play Me Forever. See if that sample's a little bit better. So what I'm doing right now, I just put in a little delay bank using the stock automatic one. Gonna do some EQ, real quick EQ. Alright, so it's not bad. Control C, Control V. So what I was just doing is copying and pasting the melody that we had into this one. So this is a little bit different one, and we're gonna go ahead and track it as well. We're gonna go ahead and grab a gross beat. Let's just see what a half speed sounds like with this one. Alright, so we're getting something to a 21 Savage style beat. Alright, so we're gonna go. Alright, so we're gonna go actually into our ambient. Let's just shuffle. Let's just. Maybe this sound. Alright, so we got a background sound essentially. Let's add one more. Alright, I'm really calling it one or two more omnispheres, because then it's like pretty much a wrap, other than doing the drums, which the drums we're going to be using a new drum kit. It's called the AT Sound Kit Major Hits. What I'm using in this video, it's not the finished drum kit, but hopefully by when this video gets uploaded, the finished drum kit will be up on beatit.com. A lot of these drum samples are actually from our original AT drum kit 1, but we're trying to rehash the sounds and make them better, as well as bring you many other new samples. But if you guys want to get other drum kits, we have others available at beatit.com. Then same thing, we're going to toss this in here, pull it down a little bit, get that groove speed in there, get a half speed. Maybe let's see what it sounds like. And you'd probably want a lead of such. I'm gonna go ahead and use Expand. Expand is a plugin by Air. Many times, if you go to the right website, they'll be selling Expand legally for $1, 99% off. But it just depends. Like, that's how much I paid for this plugin. Literally $1. It's a $100 plugin, so that was dope. All right, I'm going into soft leads, and we're gonna just kind of. I don't like that sound, but we're getting like a similar. And essentially that's gonna give you your whole entire like 21 Savage, slow, ambient, like druggy, Molly Percocet, like crime shit, you know, something like that. So like the drums are super easy, like honestly like beginner level easy. So we're gonna go ahead and just get some of these claps. You essentially see it's like just halfway through the half mark between 1 and 2 steps or measures. Getting a little cymbal splash. Alright, so essentially all I did was just select these by just dragging up, going over here, right click, channel routing, route selected channel starting from this track. Let's just put everything into the mixer really quick. We're gonna do an EQ to this clap real quick, real quick. So I'm just adding a couple percussions to make it ever so slightly interesting. Alright, so we're going to do this one other hi-hat. And this hi-hat's going to actually have some of these like weird like pitch shifters. You'll see. We're going to just click in a little spot. So maybe like right here. Knock it down one. Alt-U to do this little chop. We only need 4 of them. Go up here, change your velocity to note fine pitch, and just alright, so we're gonna split that. So I mean, you can see how we're doing this, and I think this is like the same way that like all the 808 Mafia people do. Actually, Control Z, Alt U. We're gonna do this one more time. There you go. I just right click it to like do that slide. Alright, so the cool part, get the 808. So we're in Control C, our trap kick, Control V, Control A, Control L, so that's going to stretch everything. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of these smaller notes. We don't really need those. Alright, Control A, knock it down to A sharp because that's what key we're in. So I'm going to knock down some of these keys. Pull down all the sustain, release. Sometimes your time might be a little bit goofy. You want to pull that down. Do normal. Alright, so to kind of show y'all what I did with the 808, I just did a little bit boosting that in that 200 frequency range. Added more of that, how would I say, fillingness, or not texture, but it's gonna, it has more sub, or like not sub, but bass, I don't know. But essentially it stands out a little bit more, punches through the mix a little bit more. And then adding in that distortion, pulling down that threshold so it won't hit as hard, and then pulling down that mix, but pushing in that post and pre gain helps push up that 808, sounding a little bit more, having a little bit more texture. and then doing the compressor just gave it a little, crunched everything and have it coming a little bit harder through our mix. So now, then finally I just put a little limiter on our master. Go ahead and do like a very basic little mastering just so we get very small sound goodizer. So that would be our main premise. Let's just go ahead and structure this real quick. Split by channel. I mean, honestly, this is like pretty much the done beat. I'll show you guys how we would do a quick structure. But I mean, this is like dead ass, like how these guys be making beats for 21 Savage. Find the right sound, figure out the right keys. You guys will be making fire beats. Gotta have the right sounds though. If you guys don't have the right sounds, you're screwing yourself over. That's why I also suggest people going over to odular.com. I'll put the link to all these places in the description of this video so you guys can know what I'm talking about. But odular.com is actually like a website where it's, honestly, I could sit here and like beat around the bush. It's just a better Splice, honestly. It's just much better than Splice. I mean, we got more vendors. That they got like more vendors than Splice, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I think Odular is the way to go though. So let's go ahead and I've been helping. I help heavily with Odular as well on getting all this stuff situated over there. But all right, that's besides the point though. Let's keep progressing towards this beat. So about 24 seconds, I'd say, is too long for an intro, especially from 21 Savage. So we're gonna pull everything I got. I'm just doing Shift E to do the select and Shift P to do the like draw tool. So this expand was our lead. So let's turn it off. So essentially, don't want to keep you all I don't want to like sit here and spend forever doing this. I mean, don't need to overcomplicate it. So essentially, this is all you do for Metro Boomin, Issa Album, 21 Savage type beat. You guys, let me do all this little structure, little marker, so you guys see how I see it. So I mean, you could give or take out some of this. So maybe for the verse 2. This is chorus. Yeah, so I mean, this is, you can make a shorter verse 2 and then have a long verse 1. I mean, or you could just keep it the same. Doesn't really matter. It just depends on the artist. No real right or wrong way. It's just making it as easy as possible for the artist to work with, especially if you're not going to be in session with the artist. So yeah, this is a 21 Savage, it's an album type beat. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure, if you guys want to get any of these samples, drums, and such that we use, to go down in the description of this video. And that also, if you like this video, to be sure to give it a like, thumbs up, share, comment, yada yada. Any engagement is beneficial and it helps out a lot. So yeah, I'm going to play this beat from the top and let me know what you guys think if you see 21 Savage on this type of beat.